Booktube, it's Louise from Big Head Bookworm. How are you? Are you having a good day? Has your day been what you'd planned for it today? My day's been going really well. I have just done that thing where you bite your lip in vexation, and actually it really hurts, and you kind of think it shouldn't actually hurt that much, but oof, slightly painful. Anyway, let's move on from that. What I've got here is the books that I was given in December. Some of them are Christmas presents, others were just by very generous people that wanted to give me books. Well, yes, say I. So the first collection of books, 4 no less, were from my sister-in-law. I hadn't seen her for quite a few months, and she said to me, I've got some books for you. And I was like, okay, we're going to get on great today then. And the first one that she said, have you read any of these? And I think she was thinking I would say, yeah, I've read that one, yeah, I've read that one, because they're all thrillers that you've seen out in the supermarkets, basically, but I haven't read any of them because I haven't really been reading thrillers recently, so I did well. First one is The Ice Twins by S.K. Tremaine. Hadn't even heard that it was out. It's I am Kirsty, I am Lydia. I lived, I died. Or did I? It's a thriller. It looks good. What more can I say? Excellent. The next one I got was Here We Lie by Sophie Mackenzie. I suspect she bought one and she got one half price. Look at that fine sticker. Anyway, I hadn't read of this. I've heard of Sophie Mackenzie, and actually it wasn't until I was sitting down here to actually record this that I realised that I have a Sophie Mackenzie Close My Eyes, which I think was in the Richard and Judy summer reads, not last year, maybe the year before, I'm not sure. Excuse me while I get up and get it. There we are. I hadn't realised that I had that, and I haven't read it. Let's pop that back up there. So, psychological thrillers with twists. That's what I'm thinking, Sophie Mackenzie, so I shall read that when I fancy that. This one I've seen everywhere, actually. This one I was aware was out. The Sisters, One Lied, One Died. I'm now realising there's a bit of a sisters theme, which my sister-in-law gave me. Oh, maybe she thought about it more than I'd thought. Anyway, it's by Claire Douglas. Sisters, psychological thriller. These are all modern day. They're all set now. And then this one, she gave to me. She said, "Have you read it?" In that kind of tone of, "Oh, it's heartwarming." And I said, "No, I hadn't read it." It's Anne McPartlin, The Last Days of Rabbit Haynes. Now, it sounds a bit of a tearjerker, a heartwarming story. A beautiful book. I cried and smiled all my way through, said Jane Green, the author. A delightful rollercoaster ride of emotion. So obviously I'm going to have to pick this up when I'm in the mood for a rollercoaster of emotion, rather than, I suppose there are times, aren't there? I'm more of a thrillery, science fiction-y, crimey gal myself, but there are times when I want my heartstrings pulled, in which case I've got the book right there for it. So thank you, Helen, you lovely lady, and it was lovely to see you at Christmas. So the next 2 I actually got from Book Club. This one was one of my chums at Book Club said, "Have you read this? Cambridge Blue by Alison Bruce." She knows I'm a crime reader. And I said, "No, I haven't." Of course, set in Cambridge. We live just outside of Cambridge. It's a novel. She didn't kind of suggest it was fabulous when she gave it to me. I got the feeling it was, "Here you are, I don't want it anymore." But it's a crime book set in Cambridge. And I know that bridge, actually. So I'll give it a go. One of those moments where you want to have a crime book. And then this was in my Secret Santa, Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. And I was thrilled. Oh, I was so chuffed. A, look at it. And B, it was actually on my wish list. It was a book that I had put down that I really wanted. And when I opened it up, I squealed. I was so pleased. I was so pleased I got this. It's set in northern Iceland in 1829. It's about a woman who's about to be executed for a horrific crime that her and 2 accomplices committed, which doesn't sound like the bestest story in the world, but I remember there was so much hype before it came out. It's a debut novel. It sold there was a bidding war for the rights to publish it. And I just remember it garnering such praise, and it just sounded beautiful at the time, and I remember thinking, I want that, it sounds amazing. Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. And actually, this is the beginning of January, and I have read it, and it is beautiful. It is as beautiful as the cover suggests. So yes, thank you, Secret Santa. Now, next ones I'm going to show you I actually did get for Christmas. Not many people buy me books at Christmas. I think the thing is that I have so many books. I have such a wide variety of reading tastes. I don't think people are confident in buying me books. I think quite often what happens is, if it's one of the big books that's out there, I've either read it or I've got it to read, and people are put off by buying me books. Never let that happen to you. Always buy me it. I can always exchange it. But anyway, I've got 3 books here which I'm very, very pleased with. So this was from my mum, the Cambridgeshire Cookbook. You can see there's a bit of a theme with my books. It's got Cambridge in the title, Cambridgeshire in the title, then I'm going to go for it. So this is the Cambridgeshire Cookbook. It's set out, it's places that you can actually visit in Cambridge. It's either delis, or it's restaurants, or it's pubs. Quite a lot of them I absolutely already know because I shop in them, or at least know them or have been in them. And there's got one of their signature recipes from, including Midsummer House, which is a 2-star Michelin restaurant. I'm not sure I'm going to be trying his recipe. Not confident. But it's one to go over anyway, and even if it just inspires me to go and check out that deli or that restaurant or that pub. And it's beautiful, and it's got all lovely pictures of Cambridge, as you can see there. So very pleased with that. So thank you very, very much, Mauve. That was very lovely of you. And then I got this from my husband, and so pleased. This is, can you see it beautifully clearly? Actually, I'm not sure you can. Let's do it like that. This is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas, and this is one of my favourite books. I read this many years ago when I used to work at a bookshop. I got a very battered copy, and I got the Penguin Black Classic, and it is falling apart. And I read it mainly because it was a classic and it was huge, and I used to do a lot of commuting, and I loved my big books. But once I started it, I realised the reason it was a classic is that the story draws you in, and you forget your modern day world, and you are taken to the 1800s. You're taken to France, you're taken into the mystery of The Count of Monte Cristo with all its fabulousness. Now, I had seen the Penguin cloth-bound editions. They're rather expensive when you can get the book so much cheaper. But I had decided that I am going to slowly start collecting them. And this was the first one. This was my first one, and it is my favourite book, so it shows how well he knows me. So I was so pleased. So pleased with this one. I think I will read it again. The difficulty is I've got so many other books that I want to read, and it is a commitment. I mean, it's a chunker. How many pages is it? Actually, I'm not even sure how many pages it is. 1,200 pages. But I'm so pleased that I have this and that I can display it with pride. Then, thank you, John. My last book was actually bought by my mother-in-law, and I've actually exchanged what she bought me. She bought me Simply Nigella by Nigella Lawson, which I already had because I'd already bought that. And so she said, have you already got it? And I was like, well, actually, yes, because I love Nigella Lawson cookbooks. I do love my cookbooks. So I decided to exchange it for this. Now, this is a book that actually my son was bought, and on my recommendation, because I knew that he would love it. And then I really regretted not actually saying, and could you put one in for me as well? Because of course it will be his book and it won't be my book. And you've got to have your own books, and you've got to love your own books. So I got J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the illustrated edition by Jim Kay, which you have seen if you watch any BookTube. You will have seen everywhere on BookTube, and you will have seen in all the bookshops. But it really is as beautiful and as breathtaking for a Harry Potter obsessed gal such as myself as I had heard, actually. So I said to my mother-in-law, you know, to get it for my son, because we've read Harry Potter the Philosopher's Stone and loved it. And so I thought, well, let's collect the illustrated editions for him. And then I just thought, I want it. I mean, as a Ravenclaw girl, I want it too. And you start flicking through it, and then you start thinking, oh, I'm going to have to sit and read it. And most people say that have read it already, that it really is a different reading experience, having the illustrations there. And it doesn't invade on what you imagine it's going to be like, because of course we've watched the movies and we've got our own ideas anyway. And as you know, I have read them and I listened to them on audiobook and everything. So I think I am going to read it again, the illustrated. I was so chuffed. So I exchanged this and I have this. And there is that thing that, God, that's the Philosopher's Stone, which is, of course, one of the shorter novels. Oh, there are going to be some chunkers, aren't there? But it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And if you like Harry Potter, then you've got to go. I just think even that, the inside flaps are beautiful. So yes, happy days. So those are the books I got. So those are the majority of the books that I got for Christmas. I didn't actually get, I've just knocked the table, sorry. I didn't actually get that many more because, as I say, not many people buy me books. I shall be bolder with my, please buy me a book request. Can you do that? Is that allowed as an adult? So please buy me books. I suppose so. I don't know about this Amazon wish list thing. Do you do that? And there's a whole debate on BookTube which I had no idea about. I had no idea there was this thing that because you've made your BookTube, you've made your list public, that other people could knows and stuff. I just think I never look at anybody else's wish list. To me, it's just a way of keeping track of the books that I fancy, because there are so many that sometimes I get waylaid in a bookshop and I kind of think, oh, what was that book? I've got a voucher. What was that book I fancied? I can't remember what it is now, and I don't know whether to get this book because I wanted that book. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you think, if you have any ideas or any opinions on the wish list or buying books or giving books at Christmas. It's been lovely. Lovely to have a chat with you again. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.